A recent Harvard Business School study placed the world's wealthiest individuals inside fMRI machines. The researchers wanted to see exactly how the ultra-rich make decisions. What they found was a distinct difference in their cognitive architecture. When evaluating opportunities, these individuals use different neural pathways to process risk and time horizons than the average person. The ultra-wealthy utilize these specific cognitive filters to evaluate opportunities that most people simply don't see. Standard financial advice tells you to save 10% of your income, buy index funds, and avoid risk. That is defensive advice, built for a millionaire mindset, but it has a mathematical ceiling. Billionaires ignore basic asset accumulation. Instead, they use a specific set of repeatable mental models to architect interconnected systems that generate wealth on autopilot. By adopting these same cognitive patterns, it becomes possible to look past standard defensive tactics and analyze wealth through a systemic lens. Most of us live by analogy. When trying to solve a problem, we take a product that already exists and try to make it slightly better. We optimize the form rather than the function. The alternative is first principles thinking. This means boiling a complex situation down to its absolute irrefutable foundational facts and building your solution up from there. In 2002, Elon Musk wanted to send a rocket to Mars, but when he shopped around the aerospace industry, he found that purchasing a standard finished rocket cost an astronomical $65 million. Musk applied first principles to break down a rocket into raw materials: aluminum, titanium, and carbon fiber. He discovered the actual commodity cost was only 2% of the retail price. By building the rockets in-house, he cut launch costs by a factor of 10. First principles thinking allows you to spot where markets are artificially inflated. By ignoring how things have always been done, you can create massive structural advantages. The second model is temporal arbitrage. While most investors stress over quarterly returns or short-term gains, the ultra-wealthy stretch their decision-making horizon out over entire decades. In 1994, Jeff Bezos had a secure, highly lucrative career on Wall Street. He noticed that internet usage was growing at 2,300% a year, and he had to choose between his safe job and starting an unproven online bookstore. To make the difficult choice, Jeff Bezos used his famous regret minimization framework. He mentally projected himself forward to age 80, looking back on his life to weigh the true cost of the risk. His logic was precise. He knew that as an old man, he wouldn't regret trying and failing to build an internet company, but the regret of never taking the leap would haunt him forever. Favoring long-term optionality over short-term comfort shifts the trajectory of a career. When Bezos minimized future regret, he removed the psychological barriers from a risk that led to the creation of Amazon. There is a cultural myth that billionaires are reckless gamblers. In reality, their brains crave a specific mathematical setup called asymmetric risk. This chart illustrates the concept. It shows a highly calculated scenario where the potential downside is strictly capped, but the potential upside is virtually unlimited. Warren Buffett embodies this by operating strictly within what he calls his circle of competence. He rigidly caps his downside exposure by refusing to invest in industries he doesn't fully understand. During the late 90s, he sat out the tech stock boom entirely because it fell outside his circle. Investor Monish Pabrai summarizes this mentality perfectly. Heads I win, tails I don't lose much. Generating extreme wealth means severely limiting your downside exposure while maximizing your exposure to massive gains. Courage in investing must be calculated, not blind. Warren Buffett's longtime partner, Charlie Munger, championed the concept of a latticework of mental models. He believed these cognitive tools lose their edge if kept in isolation. Watch how they work together in this diagram. First principles thinking spots the raw opportunity. Asymmetric risk calculates and protects the downside. And regret minimization provides the psychological courage to pull the trigger. Munger argued that this integrated approach helps reduce the frequency of human misjudgment. It forces the investor to cross-reference a problem through multiple disciplines before committing capital. You don't have to be running SpaceX or Amazon to use this cognitive architecture. You can apply it today to a career pivot, a real estate deal, or a new side hustle. Rewiring how your brain processes risk and opportunity takes time, and it requires a steady stream of high-quality information. That is why you should visit and subscribe to MoniTab. It's the best way to keep upgrading your financial mindset and discover hidden investment strategies. Click the link on screen or in the description to join MoniTab today and start building your own financial empire.